Hello everyone and welcome back for our history lesson 3, the Delhi Sultans. We start with part 3. So here we are going to discuss something about hinterlands and garrison towns. So how these Delhi Sultans started expanding their empire. So hinterlands we'll see first. So these were the lands adjacent to the city or a port that supplied it with goods and services. So this was an area which was near a city or a port. So we can say those were the small village or town kind of places from where people could supply different types of goods and services required to the rulers or in the kingdom. So these were the hinterlands. And now, what are garrison towns? So, garrison towns were the fortified settlements with soldiers. So, garrison towns could be said to be the places where the rulers would reside, and there were fortifications done everywhere for the protection and security, and it was guarded by the soldiers from all the sides. Then, controlling the garrison towns from distant areas was very difficult due to the rebellion, wars, bad weather, that is snap fragile communication routes, or the Mongol invasions. Now, as said that the garrison towns, though they were fortified and secured areas, they were situated in different parts. So people could not, or these rulers could not control those garrison towns from large distances. Like controlling towns in distant Bengal and Sindh from Delhi was difficult because it is far away, and that is one of the reasons. And it was also difficult because most of the times there were rebellions. What is a rebellion? Some people who are going against the particular rule or a particular dynasty or a ruler. So one may be that there were certain internal rebellions also in between the family. Different times it was difficult because of the war, because some or the other ruler would invade on this kingdom, or they would have a battle going on. Important again, bad weather conditions. Because of these bad weather conditions, people were not able to communicate from this end to the other end. It was very difficult to send messages to those people, because even on the routes when these people were traveling to pass on the messages, there were other rulers, soldiers who were spying them, or due to bad weather they could not reach on time. And yes, the most important, the Mongol invasion. We know the tribe of Mongolia, the Mongols. So they used to attack these sultans most of the times because they also wanted to capture the throne of Delhi. They wanted to be the rulers. To stop all these, the sultans planned some campaigns along the interior and exterior frontier. So, to protect from all these things, some of the sultans like Ghiasuddin Balban, Alauddin Khilji, and Muhammad Tughlaq, they tried to plan certain campaigns, because during these rulers' rule, the expansion was done tremendously. So, what steps did these sultans take? What were the plans that they made? Let's see. Yes. First, the campaigns along the interior frontier. They started consolidating the hinterlands of the garrison towns. So these were the different hinterlands which were there, the small villages or small areas. First, they were consolidated like garrison towns. That means they were also controlled and guarded by soldiers and with proper fortifications. The next was clearing the forest in the areas near Ganga, Yamuna, and then expelling the hunter gatherers and pastoralists from their habitat. So first thing what they did, they started clearing the forest in the areas near Ganga and Yamuna. They asked those hunter gatherers and pastoralists to move away from their natural habitat. They were expelled, they were removed from that place. And what was done? These lands were given to the peasants and agricultural agriculture was encouraged. So peasants were encouraged to farm in those lands because it was in the areas near Ganga and Yamuna. So a very fertile land was available so that these areas or these farmers could immediately supply the food to the kingdom or to the garrison town. So that was the reason why the hunter gatherers and pastoralists were expelled. New fortresses and towns were established to protect trade routes and promote regional trade. So they promoted the regional trade, and also to protect the trade route, they started building fortifications and new towns were also established. So these were some of the steps planned by the sultans for the interior frontier to be safeguarded. Then we move on to the exterior frontier. So what were the campaigns that were planned on the exterior frontier were military expeditions into the southern part of India. So most of the times these people from the northern part, they were having expeditions in the southern part of India. And what was the important aim of that? It was capturing of elephants, horses, slaves, and also the precious metals were taken away from southern India to the capital of the rulers. The expeditions actually started during the reign of Alauddin Khilji. So Alauddin Khilji, an important ruler in the Delhi Sultanate period, it was during his reign or his rule when these expeditions were started on a large scale, whereas it was almost put to an end during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So started by Alauddin Khilji and almost came to an end during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Now let's see few of the architectural marvels which was constructed during the Sultanate period. Now here it is the Kuwait al-Islam Mosque and Minaret. The mosque, what is a mosque? It is called Masjid in Arabic, literally meaning a place where Muslims offer their prayers to Allah. The minaret was built by Qutbuddin Aibak and Iltutmish, whereas the mosque was enlarged by Iltutmish and Alauddin Khilji. So earlier I discussed with you that Qutbuddin Aibak is credited to be of being having started the construction of Qutub Minar, and that was later completed by Samshuddin Iltutmish. So here they show us one of the minaret, and then there is also a mosque which was started by Iltutmish, or which was enlarged. The space was increased, and also by Alauddin Khilji. Let's see what's next. Here we have a Begumpuri mosque built during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. As I am showing you the pictures, please try to observe the architecture or the style of construction and then we discuss about it. Yes, here it is Mot Ki Masjid, built during the reign of Sikandar Lodi, the second Lodi ruler. So this is one of the masjid constructed by Jalal Khan Jalali, who was a poet and a saint in the court of Lodis and Humayun, especially Sikandar Lodi and Humayun. And then this is the masjid of Jamli Kamli. Now, if you have just observed few of these architectural marvels which I have presented here, these are having a similar kind of construction or an architectural pattern. There are a few more which are given in your textbook as well. I want you to go through all those things, see the architectural aspects minutely, the designing that is done minutely, and then we discuss about those when we meet for our session. So till then, bye. Take care of yourself. Be healthy. Be safe.